Hey there, Teddy Rumpskin here. Yeah. Whoa.
Hey there, Teddy Rumpskin here. It's time for another versus battle. Yeah, I've actually done a lot of versus battles recently. You know, Godzilla versus Batman, Superman versus Jaws, Plastic Man versus Mr. Fantastic. But none of the fucking versus battles have really captured the imagination or got people talking. Quite like Gremlins versus Critters. Yeah, actually that fucking video has a lot of views. Oh yeah, and a lot of fucking people talking about it. I mean, the comment sections are full of fucking people arguing about who would win in the battle, Gremlins or Critters. In fact, I even got sent a video from across this fucking ocean by this guy actually telling me that I was wrong, right? Because I said that Gremlins would win, right? They'd kill the fucking Critters. But this guy says I'm wrong, right? Because Critters actually get really big, you know? Gremlins don't get any bigger than when they're fucking born. But Critters keep growing, right? So they can get like really fucking huge, and they're pretty fucking nasty. I actually forgot that they shoot poisonous quills and shit. That's a major game changer, you know? They can shoot fucking poisonous darts. Yeah. Well, I also got a lot of comments from people telling me that I should also include the Ghoulies and the Munchies, right? I mean, if we're going to be talking about tiny little critters from the fucking 80s, might as well mention them too. So, man, this shit's getting crazy, right? So, let's do it again. We're doing it again. We're taking on the Gremlins versus the Critters. Yeah, it's rematch time. Yeah, and this time, we're also throwing in the fucking Ghoulies and the Munchies, right? I mean, you guys know what the fucking Munchies are? Because that's a really obscure 80s reference, right? The Munchies was this shitty little movie that it wasn't even very good, you know? It was kind of a crappy knockoff of the fucking Gremlins. They're really fucking ripping off the Gremlins here. I mean, the movie stars Harvey Korman, looking really stupid with a wig and a fake mustache, right? And a lot of the jokes in the movie are really fucking bad. It's a really terrible movie.
Munchies.
Honestly, I don't even think the Munchies deserve to be on this fucking list here. I mean, because they're really crappy looking creatures, you know? The puppetry on them is just really terrible. Like, they didn't even try with these fucking things.
Just dropped in for a bite. Munchies, starring Harvey Korman, from the creator of Little Shop of Horrors.
But the Ghoulies, on the other hand, right? The Ghoulies are actually pretty cool, right? They've actually got quite a bit of personality. In fact, the Ghoulies are all different from one another, you know? This one looks like a weird little baby. This one looks like a lizard. They got different personalities. Unlike the Gremlins, the Critters, or the Munchies, these guys don't all look the same. They have different looks and shit. And the Ghoulies, in the movie poster, right, the Ghoulies are actually coming out of the toilet, right? That's the thing. And even in the trailer, you know, they were saying, oh, Ghoulies will come out of the toilet and bite you in the balls. So watch out for those fucking Ghoulies.
They'll get you in the end.
And Ghoulies came out in 1985, just a year after Gremlins. And actually a year before Critters. In fact, Ghoulies was quicker to take advantage of the popularity of Gremlins than even Critters was, right? But a few years later, they made sequels to both. Critters 2 and Ghoulies 2 actually came out in the same year, 1988. Yeah. And Critters 2, the main course, is actually, some people say it's actually better than the original Critters. And Ghoulies 2, well, that's actually better than the original as well, you know? Yeah. I mean, the Ghoulies actually look better. The puppets do, you know? And then my favorite part of the movie is where the good guys actually use some magical spell to summon a giant ghoulie, right? That runs around and eats the other fucking Ghoulies. That's fucking awesome. I love that. Right. But likewise, in Critters 2, they up the ante. There's a scene where all the fucking critters form a giant critter ball and start rolling around eating everything in its way. Yeah. So, yeah, anyway, fucking Critters 2 and Ghoulies 2 try and up the ante from the original. And it works out pretty well, you know. And both of those movies came out in 1988. Right? And then Gremlins 2 came out in 1989. And that movie tried to raise the bar, but it did a lot more than that. I mean, it went over the bar, over the top, and it's just fucking ridiculous. Yeah, that movie's it's fucking nuts. I mean, his musical numbers, it's fucking silly.
Do you think the Grimsters can stand up to the Hulkster? Well, if I were you, I'd run the rest of Gremlins too, right now.
Then a few years after that, Critters 3 and Ghoulies 3 actually came out in the same year, 1991. And, well, this time, Critters 3 is actually really fucking bad. Yeah, it's terrible. But Ghoulies 3, the Ghoulies go to college, right? And it's actually pretty funny. The Ghoulies go to college, right? They're drinking beer and partying, and it's fucking ridiculous. But it's pretty fucking funny. What the
They
fuck?
may flunk out on manners, but they get an A in mayhem. Ghoulies 3.
Yeah.
Ghoulies go to college.
Ghoulies go to college. That's fucking hilarious. Yeah. But then they made Critters 4, where they go into outer space, right? And that's pretty fucked up. But Ghoulies 4, right? I don't know about that. I don't know if I even can fucking count that as a fucking Ghoulies movie. I mean, are those Ghoulies? I don't know if those are Ghoulies. I don't even know if this is officially a Ghoulies movie or not. Or if it just calls itself Ghoulies 4.
I don't care who you are. Have I got a treat for you?
Man, I love treats. Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck's going on here. I really don't.
You got something to say to me? Good, because I'm really not in the mood.
Yeah, so there you go. What we got here? We got one Munchie movie, 2 Gremlins movies, 4 Critters movies, and I guess there's like 3 official Ghoulies movies, but maybe a 4th one in there, if you could even count that as a Ghoulies movie, right? And, but there you go. Well, the real question is, who would win if you took, like all these fucking creatures and threw them in a ring together, right? Yeah, and had them fight to the death, right? You got a Munchie in there, and a Ghoulie, and a fucking Gremlin, and a Critter, right? Who would fucking win? Well, that's the thing. That's just like a one-on-one fight. The thing with these creatures is that there's multiples of them, right? Yeah, the fucking Gremlins can multiply when you add water. They can become like hundreds of fucking Gremlins, right? Well, what would happen if you threw a Gremlin into the ocean? Like, what would happen then? Oh my god, would there be like infinite numbers of Gremlins? That's crazy. And the Munchies can multiply too, you know? If you chop up a Munchie into like multiple pieces, those multiple pieces will become like new Munchies. So that's crazy. Yeah, they kind of have to fight on a multiple fucking level, you know? Multiple fucking Critters versus multiple fucking Ghoulies. You gotta do it that way. But, you know, it really does come down to size too. Munchies are really fucking tiny. I know they have retractable claws and shit like that, but they're really fucking tiny. I don't really think they stack up much to the fucking Ghoulies, right? And the Gremlins are even bigger than the fucking Ghoulies, right? But the Critters, well, the Critters are pretty small, but they're savage little fucking monsters, right? I mean, in this video where this guy was talking to me, he was telling me just how savage these fucking little monsters are. You know, the rows and rows of teeth they have in their mouths. The terrible claws they have, and the fact that they can shoot out poisonous darts, that's pretty fucked up.
And they get as big as a house. They grow, in the first film, as big as me. And that's just a start. They could probably grow even more, like the Deadly Spawn, you know?
So, well, I think actually the Munchies could pretty easily be eaten by the Ghoulies, right? And then the Gremlins could pretty easily eat the Ghoulies, right? The Critters could actually eat the fucking Gremlins. But don't forget about the giant fucking Ghoulie, right? Yeah, you can actually summon the giant fucking Ghoulie. And that thing, well, it could eat Ghoulies. It could probably fucking also eat Gremlins. And I'll fucking guarantee that it could eat Critters, right? What can stop the giant fucking Ghoulie? Well, how about a giant fucking critter ball? Yeah! So really, I think this fight would come down to a giant fucking Ghoulie versus that giant fucking critter ball. Yeah, right? So who would win? A giant fucking Ghoulie or if a giant fucking critter ball? That's a real fucking question, right? Well, I don't know, what do you guys fucking think? Write me a comment down there and you tell me, who would fucking win in this crazy fucking battle? Would it be a giant ghoulie or a critter ball? And until fucking next time, keep it fucking real.